Hoodie guy coming back here with another Kaspa video. Well, you can see altcoin season's picking up a little bit, not fully like completely triple, quadruple confirmed because Bitcoin's market dominance is falling, but a couple times on its rise up, it's pulled back. But you can see coin market cap, we were bottoming out at 16 in the middle toward the end of June on the altcoin season index. Now we're at 37, so it's starting to heat up. Hash rate, at least last time I checked, 5,600 there. Kaspa price, 9.3 cents. Nice to see. 40 on coin market cap right now at the time of this. And I don't know if you saw, Pump.Fun, they launched, and so they're basically somewhere near Kaspa. Um, and also, I got a link for in the description, and I'll put it in the pinned comment after the video. If you want a Tangent wallet, you can use a discount code down there and help support the channel. There's also a link if you want to use a Ledger. Those are the two wallets I use for cold storage. I got my Kaspa on Tangent, but Pump.Fun, obviously, its profile score is 49. CoinMarketCap's given those profile scores, but it's fallen down to 50. But yesterday they were right next to each other, and you can see the profile score for Kaspa is 92%. You got the Pi cycle top indicator. There's more convergence between the 111-day moving average and the 350-day moving average times 2. Whether this indicator turns out to call the Bitcoin top or not, that's something I'm paying attention to. You can see ETH is breaking out on the ETH BTC chart. Really, that's all that matters. You zoom out and you can see that ETH still is nowhere near its all-time high. See, that's why there's a lot of sparring back and forth between people in the Bitcoin and Kaspa community, and I hold both, and I hold more Bitcoin than Kaspa. Doesn't mean I don't like Kaspa. Just that's where kind of my risk tolerance is at. But most altcoins never really go back to the all-time high, and you can see that in 2017, 2018, that bull run, Ethereum made a high in terms of being priced in BTC. It never made it there last cycle, and it's fighting for its life just to get back to where it was last cycle. We'll see. You can see it's breaking out. Most altcoins are. You can see Kaspa has done pretty good the last month, up 12% on the Kaspa-BTC chart. Really, that's the only chart that matters, because I kind of see Bitcoin as a long-term savings account, for the next 10 years. Whether it gets replaced as number one, I'm not sure, but right now you can see a lot of liquidity is getting sucked into it. And at the same time, Kaspa's got this cool technology, and for the price at a $2 billion market cap, it's still pretty much a steal. But you can see that to ignore all the corporate publicly traded money that's flowing in there, all the ETFs, the fastest growing ETF ever. And you can see ETFs, not a completely magic wand. Ethereum ETFs are starting to have inflows, but they're nowhere near the size of Bitcoin. And so I think Solana, I don't know, I think Solana might have some ETFs now, but they tend to, just because a project gets ETF doesn't mean it's a magic wand. And you can see, like, here's Monero. The last, it had a good last year getting against Bitcoin, but when you look at Monero, it had its 2018 run where it did pretty good. It got nowhere near in 2021. It got nowhere near. It did make some ground between the 2021. It kind of went a little bit higher in 2022, but that's kind of the story. You can see Litecoin, just something to keep in mind. I mean, that's why I think that when you're a maximalist in any project, you're basically saying the future. I don't know the future, but you can see that most altcoins, and I think Kaspa could be a different story, and it's got different technology that makes it just a kind of a different animal. But you can see Litecoin came out 2013, in the 2017, 2018, never got close to initial, got nowhere near the top in the last one, and there it is. So that's why I think it's good to hold both. The reason why you should, I think it's good for someone to load up on a bag of Kaspa is 10 blocks per second and beyond. With things going on now, part of my problem is, like, Cassia is really cool. What they're doing is awesome. at the same time, it's not truly decentralized messaging when there's one website, one team. I know they're working on open source and it's beta, so I'm not, what they're doing is awesome, but trying to use that's the balance of every project is trying to frame it in like a realistic way because it's just beta, but their website could get hacked. So law enforcement could show up and take down the website once it's open source and anyone can download their own version of the messaging software and it's just out there, then there'll be the final thing that'll get really exciting. And for me, it's kind of been buggy, and I don't know about you, but that's just kind of how it's been for me. But yeah, that's basically about it. It's exciting. It feels like altcoin season could be getting kicked off. I mean, we're making gains. You got the legislation. If that gets passed, I don't know. Then Trump's talking about. New York Times is reporting that Trump's trying to draft a letter to fire Jerome Powell. Markets might not like that, but then he's going to replace it with someone that might drop the interest rate at a crazy level, which might pump the markets. So I think we're gearing up for a hell of an altcoin season. Whether a bunch of liquidity stays in Bitcoin ETFs and doesn't flow back in, I don't know. But the money printer gets turned back on, interest rates get lower, some positive legislation, and it might only really get hot and heavy for a couple months. So that's why you got to be vigilant, get your game plan together. And yeah, that's basically about it. Thanks for watching. It's exciting times. And I think a lot of us are going to do pretty well. And just if you plan on, loading up and not selling, then, just try not to buy the very top. And if you're trying to take profit, hopefully you take a little bit of profit on the way up, down, and prepare yourself for the next bear market. I've seen theories that this bear market will exist, but it might be smaller in terms of it might not be as long. Usually it's about like Bitcoin goes up 3 years, down 1 year. Maybe it's a contracted bear market. We don't know, but it's things are going good. Seems like there's some people in the Bitcoin community that are getting some eyeballs on Kaspa. So see how that goes. Ride the wave. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.